Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. So it is time for the VR2 review. Yes, the PlayStation VR head unit is landed at the Realm HQ. Courtesy of Mr. Carl, one of our fellow racers, has sent it over for me to review. And that's what we're going to do. So I was going to skip the unboxing part of it, simply because it's been done about 1 billion times already on YouTube now. And I'm sure you know exactly what's in the box. But I thought I'll just open it for you and you can just have a look and see what you think. The main review of this particular video is all about how I got on with it and maybe some pitfalls and things that Sony have not told you about the unit itself that's not good. So it's not a rave review, but a lot of what other people are saying is correct, but there's a few things missing that they're not telling you about, which we'll get into. So let's first get a GT Realm sticker on the front. It's a must-have, so if you're wanting a GT Realm sticker for your car or your headset as thus, then all you need to do is become a supporter on Facebook of GT Realm Racing and you get yourself a free sticker. So there you go. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and smash the likey button. Obviously we have merch. There's my water bottle. So at this point it's let's get on with the show. So very important thing to do with this headset is to get the positioning of the headset itself on your head correctly. So make sure you spend as much time as possible setting the headset up on your head. Make sure it's comfortable. Make sure you can see properly into the lenses. There's a very fine sweet spot on the lenses. It's not very wide, so it's got to be precise. But to be fair, once it's locked on and in the right position, you don't really do massive head movements to get it moving on your head. So it stays in place quite well. I didn't use the headphones that came with the unit. I used my Pulse headsets, which just about fits on once you've got the headset on. And obviously you have to go through the setup of the training. Now this is the first issue that we've got with the unit, and that's that the IPD settings, lowest settings in particular, i.e. how close your eyes are together, is limited. And actually the guy who sent me this PSVR is actually unable to use the unit and get them into the blue zone like you see there, because his eyes are actually too close together for the unit itself, and therefore he is unable to actually get a comfortable fit with his eyes on the unit itself. Now Sony doesn't actually give out the IPD measurements of the minimum and maximum, which again is annoying, because if you've bought the unit and it doesn't fit with your eye width, then it was a complete waste of money. So that needs to be part of your high priority. Now for me, I was scoring a 57.5 on the width of my eyes in terms of millimeters. So it's something you need to do before you actually consider buying the unit. I think Carl had a 50.5. and the unit doesn't come into the focus zones in terms of width on the minimum to his eyes, so therefore that's why he's having issues particularly. And because of that, obviously his motion sickness is through the roof because of it. And this brings us on to the second point. Once we've set it all up, as you can see, I'm just rushing through. You've seen this 1 million times already on YouTube already. So we're trying to get started now. With PSVR 1, I suffered badly with motion sickness on Gran Turismo. I think I barely lasted 5-10 minutes before I was feeling quite ill. So this was, you know, the I was going to buy it or I wasn't going to buy it breaking point of the unit. Here we go. First experience VR. Holy shit. The problem we had here for me was that I jumped in at the deep end unknowingly, straight into Brands Hatch in a fast-ish car. Now if you've not driven brands in Gran Turismo before, then you're in for a rude awakening because it's very undulating.
Has to be said.
And it gives you that feeling of when you go over a bridge with your eyes closed, and you get butterflies in your stomach, which in turn triggers your motion sickness. So, although I'm enjoying the experience so far of the 3D depth of field, I can slowly feel myself getting, as I'm saying there, giddy and feeling a little sick at this point. Not fully sick, but I was prepared to take the unit off before I got fully immersed into the sickness of motion, which I didn't do last time. I tried to push through it on the PSVR 1, and that was a mistake. I ended up feeling ill for 24 hours, and it wasn't a good sign at all. So at this point, I'm just trying to slow it down,
when you look to the side,
not go as quick, and have a good look around. I cannot fault at all the quality of the unit itself. It's nice and light on your head. You do feel like it's not there after a while once you're focused on the game. The interior modelling of Gran Turismo, outstanding. Can't say enough about it, as everybody else is. I've got to say though that the image quality is not going to be like it is on your flat screen, your 4K telly. And it can't be, just because of the size of the screens that are in the unit itself. But it's still well good enough to be believable. So don't worry about that. I mean, you'll see some videos on YouTube telling you about, oh, the quality's not all there that everyone's saying, blah, blah. In terms of a VR quality unit, it's all there. Don't you worry. We're not at the flat screen level quality of headsets yet. You can probably get them, but you're going to pay £3,000 for them. And if that's your bag and you've got money to burn, go knock your pipe out, go get busy. But for the normal consumer, this blows it out of the park, and it's very, very enjoyable. I'm just really gutted that I suffer from motion sickness, and that I wasn't aware of, to be fair. I only get motion sickness off VR, it would seem, which was a bit odd. But I decided, once I'd had a good look around this cockpit, which you've got to admit was some fine detail. The 3D audio as well was really good. In that last one with the Mazda, you could hear a chopper in the background. I could have sworn it was to the back and up to the right of me. I was actually looking for it at one point.
Cappuccino, 2 sugars, lots of milk.
So I decided to come to the cafe to have a little look at a GTR, an original. And again, quality-wise, this is astounding. The 3D-ness of this particular part of the game is outrageous. It actually feels like it's there in front of you. Again, you would have heard it from other streamers, but honestly, it's unreal in its realism, if that makes sense. I have ordered me coffee, but they're a bit slow in coming. Most annoying, but you know, we crack on. So we have a good look around here. Attention to detail is absolutely immense. You can see that the car modelling on this game is beyond, you know, it's beyond obsessive at this point.
So close and personal, this.
And we do know from a fact that all cars in Gran Turismo are modelled in 8K, and it's just dumbed down for the PS5.
The body panels are very well done there.
I'm just...
Guys, can I have my coffee? You've not brought me coffee yet. Cappuccino, 2 sugars, lots of milk.
So yeah, I never got me coffee. No surprise there. So I decided, right, let's get back in. Let's have a go with this. Now at this point, I have slightly cheated because I'd already got motion sickness from brands and I had to stop. I lasted, I think it was about 10 minutes from, probably about 15 minutes in all from the start of putting it on my head to having to take it off because I was feeling a bit giddy and go and have a rest. So next day, popped the pill I was having a go here. Everything was fine. I thought, great, we've sussed it. All we need to do is take a pill and we can play VR. Awesome. So I finished that day on a crash. And the following night, I went to do a live stream with the VAR unit. I took a pill. I think I started the stream too early before the pill had actually kicked in. So it wasn't long before I was feeling particularly ill, to the point where I had to stop and take the headsets off.
You're all looking fine and dandy on that. Guys, I'm coming out of VR, otherwise I'm going to fucking throw up live. So, thanks, Ed.
Okay, so am I going to buy the PSVR 2? Unfortunately not. There is two main reasons. One is the motion sickness, although I'm sure I could get over it with the aid of the pills to retrain my brain. But the second reason is the main reason why I can't get this particular unit, and that's because when we live stream, we always have the chat audio coming through the live stream itself so everyone can be heard. And when you use the PSVR, you can no longer get that pass through. So I can hear them in my headphones, I can hear everybody, but people who are watching can't. And it's a big part of the live stream that we have is you know, it's run on banter. There's a lot of jokes, a lot of people taking the piss, and that's what makes the channel funny and entertaining. And without it, it'd be no point. So I can't have it for those two reasons. Do I suggest that you buy it? I think you should. I think it's a great way to play Gran Turismo, if that's all you wanted to buy it for. Providing you don't suffer from VR sickness and your eyes are not too close together or too wide with the IPD measurement, then there is zero reason for you to not get it. It's not really about the money, although, you know, people are saying it is expensive, blah blah blah, but for the amount of tech that you're getting, it's not that much money. And if you look at it in terms of, you know, if you were to buy yourself a new gaming monitor with all the bells and whistles, HDR, 140 hertz screen, you know, you're talking about the same money, if not more. And that ain't virtual reality neither. That's just a normal 2D screen. So if you look at it in terms of like getting yourself a really good quality monitor, then it's a bargain. Either way you want to look at it. But obviously the 3D part of it is the bit that virtual reality is selling to you. And Gran Turismo does an exceptional effort in making sure that your VR experience is up there. And it is, I reckon, how Gran Turismo should be played. If you've got the legs for VR, then you're good to go. I would like to thank Carl for sending the unit in for review. Much appreciated, my friend. We've got to say a massive thanks to Gran Turismo for implementing VR and in the way that it has done, because it looks superb. Thank you to Sony for the PSVR 2. Great effort, and I think it's at a good price myself. So I think it's worth the money. So if you're providing that you're already into VR, then it's a no-brainer. Just go and get it and start playing whichever game Sony brings out for PSVR. You're going to enjoy it. And Gran Turismo is a great game in VR, providing you've got some decent VR legs. So that's it for the review. Hope you enjoyed it. It was informative. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on the PSVR 2, if you've got it already or thinking about it, or whether, you know, we've brought up issues that you didn't really think about. And, you know, is it put you off, or you're not bothered? What's the crack? Let me know in the comments. Smash the like button, obviously, if you like the video. And if you've not subbed already, please consider giving us a subscribe so we can grow the channel. As you can see, we've hit the magic 1K now. So thank you ever so much for those who have subscribed. Much appreciated. And we shall obviously carry on to bring on bigger and better things on the channel. And yeah, we'll have more interactions later on. So have a nice evening, afternoon, night, wherever you are in the world. It's been GT Realm. Bye for now.